To the French, the senses are everything. They're almost the sole reason for human existence, and of particular importance is the sense of taste. Today, I hope to better explain the origins of this enlightened philosophy. That is, if my own senses aren't already too numb. Being determined to carry on, I decide to visit what I humbly consider to be one of the most historically significant spots in all of Western civilization.
So here we are, all that's left of Les Halles, once the thriving and rather incredible central marketplace of Paris. It was a groundbreaking, revolutionary development of centralizing the market into halles, or the closest word I can think of are pavilions, these vast wrought iron and glass structures, each one dedicated to a different type of food. So you'd have the meat pavilion, produce, hooves, guts, and snouts pavilion. You know, I cannot describe to you how huge the original Les Halles was. I mean, endless sub-cellars and underground vaults, above ground avenues would radiate out for horse-drawn carts. It would stretch all the way out into the countryside and beyond.
Zola referred to it as the belly of Paris.
Prior to that, by the way, it was where they lopped off the heads of the aristocracy on the guillotine. This is a big public square where, hordes of hooting proletariat would watch the heads roll into baskets. Those were happier times. You know, if Enron had existed back in the mid-18th century, they'd lop their heads off in public. You know, if you close your eyes, imagine you can almost hear the appreciative roar of the crowd as yet another royalist head falls off the guillotine and rolls into the basket.
Whether you've had a hard day chopping off heads or just slicing up beef, you work up a mean appetite. So small bistros sprang up all around Les Halles. Bistros like the 100-year-old Chez Denise.
Oh, let's see, kidneys and mustard sauce. Foie de veau, that's calf's liver anglaise. Brains, lamb brains, that's gotta be good.
Necessity is the engine that has driven all great cuisines throughout history. While the dumbass aristocracy was gorging itself on filet mignon lobster, the masses had to learn how to cook, how to take a chunk of neck or shank and turn it into something magical. And over pots of steaming economy cuts, they planned a revolution. Well, today at Chez Denise, they proudly continue the tradition of serving these historic blue-collar creations.
S'il vous plaît, blanquette de veau.
D'accord, oui, pour mon ami.
I love my job. I'll drink a whole bottle and then we'll go terrorize Johnny Depp.
So, dude, why'd you move to, France, man?
I'm sure you'd appreciate that, don't you?
Now look closely. When you're eating in France, you'll notice something different. It's a far cry from what we so often find ourselves doing, joylessly chawing at our food like unappreciative doomed cattle.
Bonjour, ça va?
To the French, a meal is not just a meal, it means something. There's a dialogue between the chef, the dish, and the diner. There's a look of excitement as the food arrives, of anticipation. Food is important. It's part of their collective history.
Voilà, mon ami.
Look at this. This is lunch for one. Okay, this is ginormous. So this is blanquette de veau, blanquette de veal, blanc meaning white. Look at those big hunks of veal, slowly cooked in either stock or more often than not water. The sauce is enriched with cream, sometimes egg. I'm guessing this recipe has basically not changed in over 100 years. Man, is that good. See, for me, this is the true and enduring glory of France, this kind of food. You know, the hell with painfully stacked towers of foie gras, food tortured and tormented into metal rings so it stands up stiff. If it takes the waiter longer to describe the dish than it takes me to eat it, something's wrong here. Mon petit?
Voilà, mon ami.
He keeps calling me mon ami. Why is it that when he says mon ami, it makes it sound like asshole? This is a rum baba. And all that liquid there, that's rum that has not already been absorbed by this rum-saturated dessert. Later I'll be doing the first lap of the Tour de France. See, Lance Armstrong may win. The other guys have a lot more fun. Oh yeah, that's a ticket. 12:45. I've already eaten, like, by volume. You know, it's like a small economy car. Half a bottle of wine, a fairly good portion of rum. I'm guessing that late in the afternoon, productivity levels declined slightly.
Certainly by the time everyone drinks their digestif, because in France they believe, quite correctly, that spirits aid digestion.
I come here since 30 years. 30 years of Denise. It's okay, look at.
Not bad.
Not bad, not bad. It could be.
As I digest, my waiter, you know, mon ami, suggests that I might like to see their wine cellar, and the bartender insists that I climb down below the restaurant.
Okay, okay. There's a lot of folklore associated with a spot like this because a lot of underground vaults.
It's very, very old. I don't know.
Very old. We're talking like 1500s here, dude.
But in case of war, we can drink.
In case of war, we can drink.
Now that's French. And at a perfect 52 degrees year-round, all these rare bottles of wine will last indefinitely. But the ground below Paris has been used for more than wine storage. In the 1780s, it was overflowing with corpses. It got so bad they moved the remains of millions of dead Parisians to underground quarries known as catacombs.
It's Joan Rivers.
Apparently, they missed a few.
Lara Flynn Boyle.
Garçon. Oh, waiter? Denise? Something smells like... Shit. I'm in the sewers. Great. I wonder if this has anything to do with me being American. I wonder if they're still pissed about the whole freedom fries thing. There's actually a group of people called the Cataphiles who wander around down here for fun. There are over 1,300 miles of sewer tunnels, 124 miles of subway tracks, 185 miles of catacombs filled with dead bodies. And they crisscross randomly. They say the Nazis built secret bunkers down here during the occupation.
So Paris is where?